Hello and kia ora. Chester here with another weather update. This one is all about the severe thunderstorm threat that is impacting my friends in the St. Louis region. We'll touch on the DMV as well, but this image that we're starting with right here on your screen, right there next to me, that is the El Niño forecast. We're going to talk about that at the very end of the video, so scroll toward the end if you want to hear more about El Niño and why the Japanese Meteorological Agency has officially declared El Niño. That's happened. We'll talk more about that momentarily. Let's talk about the severe weather threat for St. Louis first. There's St. Louis right there. DMV's over here. Scattered showers. Some thunderstorms are forecast in both areas in the day to come here as we head into Thursday. I want to show you the thunderstorm threat for St. Louis, and that's because there is a possibility that this low that's moving across the Midwest here, which is driving that warm, moisture-rich air, as it moves across Missouri into Illinois, I do expect a line of severe convection to flare up. So this is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The thunderstorms will be located west of STL out in the Kansas City region, so my Kansas City and Mid-Missouri friends will want to keep an eye on that. And then later into the afternoon, this is towards evening here, so this is just about 7 o'clock in the evening. Thunderstorms are expected to plow through Metro St. Louis. By the way, no slouch here. DMV also getting thunderstorms at the same time period. And then the front crosses through, and the thunderstorm threat will ease away as high pressure builds in behind this system late Thursday night into Friday. Let's show you what the Storm Prediction Center is forecasting. You can see that yellow to orange region, it covers almost all of my friends in the St. Louis region, both Illinois and in Missouri, all the way out to central Missouri and out towards Kansas City and up north towards Chicago as well. And then in the DMV, just showing you guys are under a slight risk for stronger thunderstorms as well. What would those risks entail? Well, there is a tornado risk in Metro St. Louis, especially north and west of the Metro. Squall line moving through, you'll get some spin-up tornadoes potentially out towards the likes of Springfield, Columbia, Jefferson City, but a little closer in, you could see the northwestern suburbs of St. Louis Metro up towards St. Charles County and back into the Troy area, Bowling Green, out towards Warrenton, Herman, places like that. But the tornado threat also extends all the way into Metro St. Louis proper and down into southern Illinois for the likes of Carlisle Lake, Festus, DeSoto over there, maybe even into Farmington, though we don't have a big risk there. The wind threat does cover this entire area, and damaging winds, gusts exceeding 60, 70, 80 mile per hour gusts, certainly a possibility. In fact, that'll probably be the biggest threat for this region, and that's the same story for the DMV, DC corridor there up towards Philly. So DMV friends, just be mindful of that. And then back to St. Louis, we're talking about the potential for some hail too. There is a risk of some large hail as well. So there is the potential for all of these modes of severe weather. So let's get to the high resolution modeling. This is from the HRRR, the HRRR model from the National Weather Service. We start the clock at noon on Thursday, and we go in through Thursday afternoon and evening. This is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see the convection firing up here just west of Como, west of Sedalia, and then heading in towards 7 o'clock, line of hefty thunderstorms moving in. This particular model, take it with a grain of salt, has the severe weather getting into Montgomery County up towards Bowling Green, Troy, having crossed Columbia and Jefferson City by 6, 7 in the evening, and then into the heart of Metro St. Louis by about 8 to 9 o'clock this evening. In fact, it has severe thunderstorms right on top of Metro St. Louis right around 9 p.m. on Thursday. This stretches all the way up towards Illinois, central Illinois, and up towards Champaign and Urbana, and south and west down through the Rolla, Sullivan areas as well. A little bit farther into the future here. Now we're taking it to near midnight here, and this is at midnight now, and you can see the convection line starting to weaken as it moves south and east. So you have less of a chance of severe weather in places like Farmington than you do in, say, Troy, or more of a chance in St. Charles than you do in, say, Belleville. But the chance is there nonetheless for the entire region. I want to switch to the global model. Mainly because I want to show you that the convection, once this clears away, we'll have one settled day in Metro St. Louis for Friday. And then, I wanted to move the map over towards to include our, the East Coast as well. And then heading into late Friday into Saturday, more thunderstorms are possible as the front stalls out nearby, and that's going to bring more potential severe weather to those regions. So that's something we'll have to be keeping an eye on through the weekend. You can see late Friday into Saturday. There is that potential for some stronger thunderstorms as well. So that's something that just you need to keep in mind here. Okay, let's talk about El Nino. So the switching gears here, the Japanese Meteorological Agency, first major agency to announce that El Nino is officially here. You can see they have crossed over on their charts. They're showing that sea surface temperatures in their area of interest, which is a little bit different than the rest of the world. Most of us look at this area called the Niño 3.4 region. They're looking more at a wider region called the Niño 3 region, essentially very similar to the 3.4, but their threshold has been reached for them to call it an El Nino, and as a result, you can see the forecast does show that this El Nino will continue to strengthen, and it is possible that this could be one of the strongest El Ninos ever recorded, and that's going to have a knock-on effect across the world. So in a future video, I'm going to talk more about the impacts of El Nino. In the meantime, if you're watching this, say you're a Kiwi or a New Zealander, the Earth Sciences New Zealand, my employer, we're going to have more updates on El Nino in the weeks to come, likely to be declared sometime this summer by us at Earth Sciences New Zealand. NOAA, National Weather Service, is likely to declare in the weeks to come as well, and the Bureau of Meteorology highly likely as well, as all the forecasts are pointing for El Nino to happen. Greater than an 80 to 90% chance of El Nino for most modeling, and some of those models also illustrating a strong El Nino, which could have a significant impact on global temperatures and significant impacts on the weather across the world. I'll end the video there. Stay safe out there, and thanks for watching. I'm Chester.